Hello. So this is my Armour Rush deck list from the recent Fanboy3 store regional. I placed second, going X1. I played Meggy, two Hunter decks, Gaimon, an Armour Rush mirror match, and Dorbeck. I lost to the mirror match, which I'll discuss later as to why I think that happened. So my eggs are just the standard 4 BT16 Demi Veemon, and then moving on to my level 3. So I'll get these out. 4 BT21 Veemon. Oopsie. 2 BT16 Veemon. Completely normal ratios. I don't think I've seen people play any different. And then I opted to go for 4 of the promo Veemon as opposed to any searchers because I was worried from practicing that I'd get short-sighted early game. So the reduced Evo and draw power helped me keep sort of things consistently paced. I was always focusing on attacking whilst building up other resources instead of, trying to drop a searcher with Davis. So yeah, it just encouraged me to keep swinging. It meant I was always just getting the draw. And then to BT3 Veemon, jamming's just always very useful. I was on the fence about including 2 of the EX1 Veemons in the lineup for the additional memory gain. It was always going to practice. But again, I ended up focusing on consistency just to kind of help my mentality during the game. But I would definitely encourage people to go for the EX1 Veemons in a lot of lists and try it out and see if you personally like it. Okay, so level 4 is definitely the most fun part of the deck. So goes without saying, 4 of the ST17 Magna. I'm not going to say much about it. This has always just been a devious card. Will just completely turn a game, especially if it's insecurity, which just always happens. There's no skill involved. You just have to play 4 of it. And then I've got 4 BT8 Magna. And I went for 3 of the BT21 Magna. I think you can mess around with these ratios. It's not really that important which way you go, if you want to play 4 of or whatever. I just always ended up preferring additional DP over DP reduction because I have other ways to remove big bodies. So I always preferred having this in hand and then this for maybe later game. And then next I played 2 Digimon. He's so slept on in my opinion, although I'm sure people are a big fan of him anyway. I love this card so much early game. I played 2, but I would happily consider playing 3 if I tested it out in future for other tournaments. A lot of current format decks will really punish you for leaving the level 3s on board, the tiny little guys, because you can see them setting up. That level 3 is gonna be level 6 next turn. Don't leave it on board. And sometimes it's hard early game with Magna, even with the DP reduction, to sort of get the level 3s and 4s off the board. So Magnamon so good. I ended up going for 1 promo Flamedramon. It was nice in practice. I just felt like I wasn't getting as much value compared to Lydra. Playing at the tournament, there were definitely situations where I was raiding purely just to purge. So the security burner is just essentially a cool addition to that, right? And it allowed me to chain my effects if I was sort of stuck. But other times I kept thinking, I would have really preferred Lydra right now. So I think 1 was totally fine. It came up enough times. Right, let me reshuffle these a little bit. Okay. big stack of level 4s. And then I ended up going for 3 Magnamon X. I practiced a lot with just 2 for ages, and gosh, I was just constantly getting beaten down by mid-game because there just isn't enough protection without it. I think ultimately Armour Rush on its own with no level 6s just doesn't work in the current format. Even if you turbo with Uko and have additional security attack, it's just, you're going to get stopped before you get to lethal a lot of the time. And I didn't want to leave it to chance. You know, I don't want to have to put myself in a position where I was one away from lethal. So yeah, just always want to see it. 3 was perfect. I always saw him because of the searching power in the deck, and I never ever thought, oh my god, if only I had, you know, Magnamon X. He was always in hand. And then next, I'll put him over here. Tamers. I don't know if 4 BT21 Davis is overkill or not. I thought it might be overkill, but because I opted for certain ratios, I felt like I needed the 4 of. I wouldn't recommend people focusing on security bombs, but oh my god, if you play enough Tamers and options, you're just gonna see them in security. So cool, great. And then 2 promo Davis. I think that 2 is enough with the searching power in the deck. Again, I sort of always saw him when I needed the extra body, and he's less essential because I wasn't, you know, hard dropping searchers. It's just almost like okay, cool, let me get another body on board. Usually the BT16 Veemon, because it just ensured that Evos or dropping another Digimon was just a little bit cheaper. And then I did one of both the Davis and the Daiken. So I actually didn't find that I needed a Memser a lot of the time because I'm playing such high levels of Tamers. I just always had enough memory anyway. And you can work really conservatively with Armour Rush as well. It's quite cheap to do a lot of stuff if you get the setup right. And then the Daiken is just perfect when you're stuck in a position where you've got only the level 4s that are not going to unsuspend. You've not got armor texture. I always kind of saw him in game again because of the searching power. So it like fixes a couple of matchups where I'm like, oh crap, I'm screwed. Oh no, okay, it's fine. I can get the final swing in. And cheeky little bonus is Digimon is gonna trigger the 2 memory. Okay, so yeah, pretty decent, pretty standard. And then I did 4 Armour Digivolution. Again, kind of same logic with Davis. Like, I always want to see it, so I'm gonna play 4 of. It's a great security bomb. And then I played 2 Menti Bees, Menti Brainies. I did mess around with blue scrambles in a lot of my practice, and it's genuinely just probably a psychological thing. I found when I was playing blue scrambles, or a combination of blue scrambles and mental trainings, I ended up focusing on the wrong things. Like recycling the bodies was great, but I started thinking, oh, I need to play this because inevitably something's going to go wrong. I'm going to screw up. I'm going to need a body. Whereas with mental training, I'm thinking about how to win games quickly, not just how to save a bad game. I started playing more aggressively with just these, like that positive reinforcement of like, oh, let me set up some really, really good terms because I can keep the momentum going. And then 2 Fire Rocket. I tried 3. It was just too many for me. I didn't want it, didn't need it. 1 Awakening. If you've played a Magnamon X before Armour Rush, you just know it's like an essential card for the cheap Evo. Then 2 Armor Texture. I could have probably done with 3. There was 1 or 2 times during the tournament where I thought, crap, I need to trigger, and I haven't got it. But ultimately, it was fine. I was playing high enough ratios of stuff where it wasn't that much of an issue. And then one of my favorite cards right now, thank you, Elixir, for pilling me on it because it's so good. Island of Adventure, played 2 of. Perfect setup card, reducing the initial cost for Tamers early game. And it's also a fantastic bait for your opponent, right? Because there were actually so many times during game where I didn't have any Tamers, and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna see how far I can push my opponent, how long they'll wait before they swing because they don't want to give me a Tamer. You know, I'd have like a level 4 on board, so I did at least have a block, and think, okay, I'm gonna play it. And it did delay them a turn or 2 a lot of the time. And at that point, I'd usually found a Tamer. So then, you know, my bluff's gone. I've actually got something in my hand. And in a bind, Island can be used to trigger Magnamon X. So I liked to keep the other copy in hand for a more drawn out game. Again, that won me some games in practice and in the tournament. So I don't think there's anything particularly unusual about my deck. I went for a lot of consistency, pieces I just sort of enjoyed playing that boosted my competence. It did probably hinder me in the mirror match, though, because their deck had way more late game power with 4 Magnamon X, level 7s, slightly different options. So I went into that expecting it to be a drawn out game. Obviously not knowing their ratios and thinking maybe they'd be similar to me. And maybe if I'd played more aggressively, I would have performed better because, you know, they were sort of in it for the long game. I would have liked to get rounds against Secure RK to see what the limitations are with this kind of basic version of the deck. But I'm also thinking maybe it was good that I avoided them on the day. And then final thing is just a shout out to the entire Fanboy3 group that I'm friends with, especially the Tommy NT, Tricks, KnTElixar as well, K-Beads, for helping me practice and kind of choosing cards and helping me with the logic of the deck. And yeah, please let him know your thoughts on deck.